Hang on. Oh, I did it again.
Oh, have you not got it in the scene?
I got the wrong thing set up. There you go.
It's okay, you can add it in. Hello.
Hello. There we go. Give it a second.
No, okay.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you for the troubleshooting. There we go. We got the Mimi online. Let's start again. To the very underwhelming intro. Uh, Hello. Welcome to the Binary Podcast episode 1. For episode here, we have my lovely wife, who is a very British person and loves all things Warhammer. She's a big, particularly lover of the Orc Boys and, putting their heads on Space Marines models. Yeah, Oh, they're called.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry, I got corrected. They're called grots.
That's
Apparently,
nice.
her gateway into Warhammer 40k was, you know, partners and other stuff. Just basically like, here, have a whole bunch of models. She's just gonna kit bash them.
Conversions are always fun.
Yeah. Although we're still missing half her army from one of her exes.
Did he steal it?
Um, let's not make allegations just yet.
Okay.
All right. So before I forget, before I go off on that little tangent, how about you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Maple. I'm a sheep. Well, it doesn't look like it, but I am. I'm a sheep. I'm a VTuber. There we go. Sheepness. I label myself as a variety streamer, but mostly just these days focus on Warhammer.
Hmm.
You go down a hole and you can't get back out. But
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, quite a few holes I've fallen down these days. The VTuber hole, the streamer hole, the horse girl hole. That's going to be a different
I'm still
episode.
I'm still disappointed they're not centaurs.
I, I, oh, them. I can tell you why the freaking modeling kits would be impossible to make. Also, imagine the poor animators had to animate humans and horses.
Done it in other animes.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's a
have you
game.
tried to animate a horse?
Actually, no, that's never come up in my line of work.
Yeah, like I can tell you, it's impossible. Like if you can properly animate a horse, you've got a career for life. Honestly,
Oh, really?
yeah, it's look at the anatomy of a horse and just see why they're God's cruel mistake. But anyway,
I didn't realize it'd be so bad.
ah, don't worry, we'll go about it in the next episode where I talk to my horse wife about horses. But anyway,
Okay.
back on topic. Ah, so I definitely know you from recently where you've done a lot of Warhammer streams, playing strategy games and doing a lot of watching sessions of Warhammer lore videos.
Yeah.
So, like, what was your first introduction to that world? Because I know nobody I ever met has just decided of their own volition, I'm just gonna go read a 40k book or play Warhammer.
So my friend, who I met like a long time ago, and they were into Warhammer, and they were like, "Hey, look at this," and I was like, "Hey, look at that." That was it, basically. And
That sounds about right.
I just liked it, and yeah, so I started collecting the models,
Hmm.
and then played it a little bit. Not much because I don't have much of an army because I kept flicking between different stuff. And then discovered Total War, Warhammer 1, and just kind of went from there. It just spiraled.
Oh, Total War! I remember spending 100 hours in that game.
Lots of different Total War games now.
Yeah. Okay. So like I know that I've talked to quite a few women who are into Warhammer and into the deep lore of it. Like I know my wife could definitely go into a very long tangent about her little growth army. who I keep calling orcs, and she keeps getting upset every time I do that because they're not orcs; they're grots.
You must be specific.
Yeah, you're very specific. It's probably her version of the Phillips and a flathead screwdriver.
I mean,
So
there's a difference.
yeah, they are. But so what? So what appealed to you over like the fantasy setting of like Age of Sigmar over 40K?
I mean, I grew up on sci-fi stuff, with my dad, but for some reason, the second I saw like medieval fantasy stuff, something just clicked in my brain, and I was like, I must have that in my life.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. There's something cozy and just so nice about medieval fantasy over sci-fi. I'm just not a pew pew girl.
Like, but it's but like you still like the whole epic stories and dramas and deep lore, I guess.
Like the sci-fi, the like 40K stuff is still like it's still good, it's still fun, and it's just not something I really got into just because medieval fantasy was always like my thing.
Hmm. No, that's fair enough. So speaking of medieval, the early 2000s.
How long ago?
Ah, it's long enough. It's considered
25 years.
yeah, like that's retro.
Oh
5 more
my
years and it
god.
becomes vintage.
Makes you feel old.
Oh, anyway, let's not talk about my retro Nirvana shirts that people go, "Oh my god, the clothing brand." So there's one thing that I definitely found interesting was in the early 2000s, the Warhammer universe was definitely a lot more niche than it is nowadays, pre-internet era, because you had to talk to somebody or you had to have someone in your social circles you played with, and game stores weren't that prevalent, or the internet. Like you had very niche forums to talk to other people, and it definitely limited your social circles.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
do think I would have got into Warhammer sooner had I had sort of more access to the internet because I was an outdoors kid. We didn't really have internet. We didn't have much money. So the internet wasn't really like a very prevalent thing in my household.
hmm,
So yeah, I think it's something I would have got into sooner had I been exposed.
yeah, that's. I know I definitely got into Warhammer because I was a very big book person because we didn't have like cable or you know VHS collection at the time, and the trips to Blockbuster were very finite.
Yeah.
So my first resolution was I forgot what it was, but it was like the really popular Warhammer series, where it introduced the Systems of Battle and all that other good stuff.
I don't know much of it from like when I joined it was Age of Sigmar
Hmm.
already. So I don't know much about it before then.
I, I was always a sci-fi kid, so that's what appealed to me.
Ah, I see.
But I definitely see the appeal of like epic battles and epic dramas, and nowadays I appreciate a lot more because I'm a very politically driven person. So I love like the social commentaries baked into Warhammer.
Right, right.
Like even Age of Sigma, like has a lot of medieval and feudal themes. Oh,
It do.
the wife is here. Hello. So there's so there's one thing I wanted to ask you because being a woman in the early 2000s, it definitely affected how you were. We're a bit of a nerd because like
Yeah,
we still had like the stigma of you know video games are for boys and like all nerdy stuff is only a male driven thing.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
lead up to this, we talked about what how should I call it? The Big Bang Theory fashion statements,
Yeah.
like
I'm not.
the social butterflies wearing like white shirts and a bow tie and trying to pretend to be nerdy,
Yeah. The phase of when they discovered nerdom,
and you're like,
and they for some reason thought that. in order to look like a nerd, we must dress like a nerd, and nerds wear bow ties
Yes.
for some reason.
Yeah, social butterflies. Crimson, like people who normally wouldn't engage in like those kinds of circles, trying to penetrate those circles. Because
They flitter around between different areas.
yeah, like they like for a long time I thought, man, don't treat my hobby as a fashion statement. Um, oh hi, Bloody. So I definitely want to talk to you about that, like because I know you've told me you had guys come up to you and try to one up you about Warhammer lore.
Oh, Lord of the Rings was the main one
Lord
back
of the
then.
Rings, yeah, because of the Peter Jackson movies.
Yeah, so basically, it was around the time when, because I was in sixth form when the Hobbit movies came out, I think. Um, and well, when the first Hobbit movie came out, which obviously introduced a whole new generation of people to Tolkien and stuff like that. And the people in my school, they were like, "Oh, this thing," and they thought it was great. And then I remember there was one lesson where for some reason there was no teacher there. I don't know why. But the boys were going around, this group of boys that were now decided that they were nerds and would dress like nerds. They were going around the entire room, every girl being like Aragorn or Legolas. And obviously these girls, they were like, I don't know who that is, because they're just normal people. What on earth was that background just then? I saw that.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so they were going around being like, who, and the girls didn't know who it was, and they found it really funny, and that these girls had no idea who they were, and they were like it made them sort of feel, I guess, nerdier that these girls didn't know it, which I don't know why you would assume they would. And then they came to me because I was at the back of the room just trying to ignore everyone. And they came to me and they were like, Aragorn or Legolas. Honestly, looking back, I should have said Gimli, but I said Aragorn. And they just went, oh, but do you know who that is? And I was like, yes, actually, I do. And they started pressing me about loads of other things. Like, do I know this? Do I know that? And I was just like, please leave me alone. But yeah, it's like it was really interesting to them that one of the girls said yes. But at the same time, it was almost like, how do you know this? Why do you know this? It felt like an interrogation more than a, wow, you know this?
I'm definitely guilty of doing that a little bit, but not to the extent of being an asshole. Because I definitely had people come up to me and try to one up me. Because I was like, I played a lot of Diablo 2, and I had like one of the shirts running around, and I had like people coming up, like people from uni age, coming up to a high school and be like, "Oh my god, you don't know anything about Diablo."
Oh,
I'm like, I do. I spent like 5 hours fighting a cow to get maximum gold. Just didn't want to talk to them.
yeah.
Ah well. So like, so that definitely would have that kind of experience talking to like I would say the fake nerds. Definitely set you back on fully embracing nerdom, I would say.
I suppose in a way, because obviously my friend who had got me into like Warhammer and stuff and had kind of encouraged me to get more into games, because my parents didn't really encourage me to get into games, but they did encourage my brother to get into games. That's a whole other tangent that I won't go on. Um but yeah, so it was my first like proper interaction with like people I know on the subject, and I was like, okay, well, that solidifies the fact that I'm not going to bring this up.
Hmm.
And then, but the only thing is, by that point, I was already attending conventions and stuff. So I knew what the culture was actually like. I knew what the people in the fan base and everything was like already, and they weren't like that at all. So that's kind of how I knew these people were very fresh, because they didn't know what, I guess, being an, I sounds like I'm gatekeeping being a nerd, but
Like
they didn't know how the nerdum acted. They didn't know that it was just a bunch of people who enjoyed stuff coming together. It was just for them. It was just like a way of showing off.
There's definitely like there is definitely this secret handshake every social group has that lets someone know that you're indeed a part of that circle. And I've and it's definitely like a survival mechanism I've found because
Mm.
people don't like being bullied. They don't like being made fun of. And
Yeah.
for like something low stake like nerdoms, they're just like, I want to talk to you about Warhammer stuff. And for more persecuted groups like the LGBT, it was a survival mechanism because you didn't know if they want to, persecute you or hurt you because of who or what you liked.
Yeah.
So I just find it interesting how that's always baked into every social group, like the little handshake and the little head nod of knowing.
I never really did that because I struggled with friendships. Let's just say that. So I didn't really have many people, like a social circle that I could talk to about this stuff anyway. So anything I was slightly interested in, I didn't really have anyone to do these like nods. Sorry, I don't know why my tongue stuck out just then. I didn't really have anyone to like discuss this stuff with anyway. So I had no nods at it. No, there was nothing. And that was my first experience with people that I know. So that was, yeah. You think it's going to be a nice interaction because you're like, if I say they know that I know something, they're going to be like, friend or something like that. But they're not. They're just like, you can't know this. You're a girl.
I guess it's definitely a different experience for me as a guy because all we have to do is just have a similar shirt and we just become friends.
I mean, the girls where I were, they weren't. I don't. Yeah, I'm sure there was some of them that were into something along these lines, but yeah, most of them were just sort of very normal into I don't know, boys and getting drunk.
Oh, they also like that and just kept it on the down low because they're a lot more socially aware than the guys.
Possibly. They could have been into it and just never said anything.
But like it's definitely changed nowadays where you can both chase boys and go out to drinks and also enjoy the nerdy stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Um.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wifey used to be asked all the time when she attended Warhammer events that, oh, are you? Oh, did your boyfriend let you borrow your army? Like, no, no. I spent all that time.
What?
Yeah, it was a real misogyny thing.
Bunch of assholes.
Yeah, pretty much. They've We can go into tangents about how much they set her back. Oh,
Yeah. That's very bad.
all right. Let me just fix that for a sec. Doesn't help. I've
That's okay.
got cats bumping into a mic and moving out of the way.
You have the same issues I do.
Yeah, fluff. No, don't use nails. All right. So hopefully that works better. All right. So, there's always a trigger for people starting to become streamers and VTubers. What was the trigger for you? Because there was definitely like a gap between playing Warhammer and now.
So, what do you mean? As in, like, how did I go from nerdy stuff to streaming?
Yeah.
So, basically, at one point, I bought myself my first PC, and that was when I started playing games a lot more. And then it had the internet on it. And yeah, I discovered Twitch. I don't know if a friend told me about Twitch or if I discovered it on my own. I'm not quite sure. And then one day, a friend said to me, "Hey, you should stream." And I was like, "Okay." So I tried it once, and I tried it once again another time. And I didn't really get into it very much, but that's because in my house I didn't really have much in the way of like soundproofing and privacy. People would just walk in, and so it's not really something I could have like committed to or been professional about. So I just left it, just ignored it. And then it came to, I think I'd moved out. I was in my own house. And my friend said, hey, you should try streaming again. So I tried streaming again, a tiny little bit, maybe like a couple of streams. Didn't really go anywhere. And then one day they went, you should be a VTuber. And I was like, what the fuck is a VTuber? And sorry for swearing. I completely forgot.
No, it's fine. Like we have according to Australian broadcasting rules, you can swear 3 times before you're bumped up to 10-15.
Oh, okay. So I'll try not to again.
No,
then.
it's fine. As long as we
So yeah, I didn't.
context.
Okay. So yeah, I didn't know what VTubing was, and I started looking at them, and I said, "This is the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life." And I couldn't stop.
Oh, you're also a late adapter.
Yeah, I found them. I can't remember when it was. Probably in the boom of 2020 was probably when I found them. But I was literally looking at them, and I was like, "This is terrible. This is so cringe. It's awful." And I just could not stop watching them. And then, yeah, I started with a Vroid model, because obviously I didn't want to put money into it. And yeah, I tried it for a little while, gave up, and then came back like this. So yeah, it's just literally just a case of got my own PC, discovered the internet, discovered Twitch, and off we go.
That's definitely very similar to my experience. Although mine
Yeah?
was more. Man, I don't know what the hell YouTube's about. Watch one video of the Game Grumps like losing 7 turns in Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
And then
It's
it's like, what the hell's a Hololive? Oh, I get it now.
it's like you find a bit and you go, ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hole, and it just keeps going.
Like that's the other thing that I find interesting. Like in streaming is already a very niche thing, and VTuber is a niche within a niche. It's definitely has its own challenges in how you interact with people.
Oh yeah.
The more I see it, the more I see the same of the real world. Like you have people who are just want to enjoy the thing, they just want to enjoy experiences. Then you've got the social climbers who just want to personally benefit from things and don't care who gets hurt along the way. And
Oh yeah. There's a lot.
it's just like like you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but like you just find it better to just stick to your own social, like small corner of the internet than to try to reach out to other streamers.
It's definitely easier. But then you can't grow if you just take the easy route all the time.
No, that's
So you got to try and branch out. I'm not a very sociable person, naturally, which is probably quite surprising considering what people have seen on stream and stuff. But yeah, you have to branch out and try and be social, which is very hard for a lot of people. But yeah, it's easier to stay, but unless you really try to push your way out, you're not going to get really that far.
Yeah, definitely taken quite a few risks in my not I say risk, but they're not really risks, but they are in a way. Oh god, it's hard to explain when you're not having spent 100 hours learning cybersecurity. Every action you ever take is a risk, but the level of risk varies. You know, branching out to people like, hey, do you want to just come on a podcast? Yeah, sure. That's pretty low risk, but it still has some risks. I mean, worst case scenario,
the person can be horrible.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I just tell them to go away. But yeah, like okay, hang on. Let me just recenter. You might want to check your messages while I load up the next question.
Oh, okay.
Because the wifey wants to show you something.
Are those the ones she did?
Yeah. So fun.
They're so good.
So fun story. If you ask her about it, she'll tell you the story of how Warhammer stole an image of one of her paintings for the run.
Did
So
they?
yeah, so she, she did it. She was doing that typical nerdy thing of painting it and took a very nice stage photo of it, and she put it up on her social hub. And someone decided to steal the image and put it up on their Etsy or whatever the hell it was. Where they just steal images off the website and put it on some crappy mug or something. Now, because of that, uh, Fantasy Flights, I believe, is the company. I don't know. I forget what the company's actually called. I'm telling the story wrong. I'm with. Oh, hang on.
You're very good.
Oh,
They're
sorry, you
brilliant. I
put on
love them.
Redbubble.
Redbubble.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, were they doing it as like a poster or something?
Okay, so she's put up on Redbubble the image
Mm-hmm.
of her nicely painted figures. Someone
Mm-hmm.
bought it as a postcard, and then they tried to sue her for all her earnings, all $2.50 of it.
Games Workshop tried to like.
Oh, and then they used the images for their promotional material because they own the rights to it. So yeah.
I don't even know how that actually works legally. That's not quite
Uh,
right.
so from what I remember is that they did the bullshit. Oh, we own everything perpetuity because you use the likeness of our IP property, which a lot of companies try to do, but it's just a bunch of legalese nonsense. Because
That is terrible.
yeah, the problem is that yeah, she's a lawyer. She knew how to fight back, but at the same time, is it worth
So
it?
being a lawyer obviously helps, but if you were just like the average Joe, you wouldn't know what to do. You'd be scared.
Yeah, like I watch a lot of like between talking to my wife about a lot of lawyer stuff and watching a lot of journalists who actually get sued a lot, you learn that just like, you know, the Warhammer rules, lawyers have their own set of rules and they use a lot of fancy words to try and trip you.
Yeah.
But that's always a good skill to have. Reading comprehension. Go read a book, kids.
Stop
Ah,
watching YouTube on your tablet. Go read a book.
um, hmm, uh, if you're gonna watch YouTube, at least watch something worthwhile.
Documentary.
Documentaries, just like as a treat. Watch a little brain rot. As a treat. But I'm not your dad. Do whatever the hell you feel like.
Um,
Like, so one thing that I've noticed is that you definitely enjoy talking about the deep lore of Warhammer.
yeah.
What led you to like the educator path of I want to explain this whole expanded universe that I love so much for streaming?
So, as you know, I'm a bit of an idiot. And it's not necessarily that I'm an idiot. I find it really hard to retain information sometimes. Um, I have some memory issues, which I'm not going to talk about, but so it makes it hard for me to just like remember stuff. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try and do it in a way that makes it simple for new people to understand and also makes it like fun so they remember it. And that's where the Lorehammer thing came.
Here we go. We're back.
Hi.
And I lost my
Hello.
note. You remember what we were last talking about?
Uh, no.
Awesome, me too.
The last question I know was about the lore.
All right, dude.
And we spoke about Wifey's model picture being stolen by Games Workshop.
Yeah, it was sad. Just you just put it in Redbubble because you're proud of it. Then Games Workshop has to sue you for all the profits because it's their intellectual property, and then they decide to use the image on their own website.
Which is insane because that's your intellectual property because she took the picture.
But it's there we go. Oh, how we go into lore. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so that was basically it.
Yeah.
Wanted to make it simple, fun, so people remember, and it goes in their brains, and that was it.
No, it's definitely a good model because for stuff like Warhammer, people don't just go, right, I'm going to learn about the 200-page lore about the Skaven. No,
It's a lot.
there's a lot. I remember falling asleep to the tower video.
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
But most of a lot of fandoms just be like, oh, who's this little guy? Oh, well, this little guy is blah 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 blah, and then you're like, oh, and then you go on to the next tangent and so on. Then next thing you know, you spend $200 on a small enough plastic to fill the ocean.
Yeah, because they're all connected. So you learn about one guy, and you're like, oh, this guy comes into contact with this guy. And what did he do? Oh, well, he did this, and he came into contact with this guy, and you just go on and on and on.
Yeah. Which is why I find it silly that Warhammer doesn't, utilize their fandom a lot more. Because I'm trying to remember what the video series is called, where the guys used text to speech a lot back before text to speech was a common thing. But it's very early YouTube era of, hey, let's just treat YouTube as a fun thing to share our hobbies around. Instead of, oh, let's try to monetize every living second of our lives. Twitch.
Still wanting to protect your intellectual property and everything, and making sure that other places don't steal it. Like if Games Workshop wanted to make sure that Wizards of the Coast weren't going to try and copy something they did because they would, they would, then fine. But protecting it against your own fan base when your fan base literally took a picture of something they made. But then they did like a whole rework where like they changed all the names of the paints and everything because they wanted to be able to copyright the actual shades and the colors and stuff and the names of them. So
you can't copyright a name.
Well, they've copyrighted the paint names.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
Yeah, as Letty said, it's very niche. Fan projects are the reason most people get into it. Or, content creators like yourself who just decide to spend a huge chunk of their lives just being like, here's a funny little guy. I like him.
I'm just glad that Games Workshop haven't gone down the same route as Wizards of the Coast and had some sort of aneurysm and thought that cancelling all of their content creators that do stuff around their stuff is because at one point Wizards of the Coast they went after content creators that did anything to do with D&D. So I'm glad that Games Workshop haven't gone down that route.
Actually, it was Hasbro who did that.
Oh, was it Hasbro? Sorry.
Yeah, Hasbro got bought up by... No, sorry. Wizards of the Coast got bought up by Hasbro. And shortly after that's when you saw
Hasbro had a meltdown.
They didn't have a meltdown. They're just doing the typical big corporation thing of we try to make try to draw every cent possible. And, just before that, I remember because I was streaming Magic at the time, we had a lot of opportunities, getting into the content creator program for Magic and all this other stuff. And then they just shut it down within a month. Because there wasn't money to be made. And they're like, oh, we had $1 million thing where people could make their own series and product, make their own series and you can talk about all this other stuff. It went nowhere. Because they got promised the money, then the money never showed up.
So then they went, actually, you guys can carry on. It's fine.
Yeah, which sounds was very similar to the Warhammer experience, because I remember they had a thing with the Warhammer channel, and they were trying to get a whole bunch of content creators to do, series and other stuff for their in-house YouTube.
Oh, I see.
And then they went, oh, it actually costs money to get those kind of content creators. So we're just going to get our own in-house stuff to do it, and they're not going to be nearly as dedicated or as good.
I didn't know they did that actually.
They did. I just read it because it was like a whole thing about in tech news circles for a while, and it was a very corporate thing at the time. It's like, well, why are we going to give the fan base like a pittance, and they'll jump through hoops to promote our product when we can do it in house for way more money and less of a result. I don't understand that mindset.
I don't know. It's that I guess that's why we don't own companies.
I used to own a company, and then
It's why you don't own a company anymore. I guess.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
I ran it into the ground because I was 20 at the time.
Oh damn.
Well, thankfully, I only had to fire one person, and it was myself. So we're fine.
Okay.
I'm not talking to myself, that jerk.
Dear.
But yeah, but the one last thing I really want to talk about, which is a topic close to my heart, is I do a lot of stuff around security and cybersecurity. I've spent a lot of my time in and out of IT and corporate, learning how to keep company secrets and yourself safe.
Yeah.
And I found the most common thing is behavior dictates how safe you are. Like, if you're feeling safe, you're more likely to take on high risk behavior.
Oh yeah.
And you tend to trust people you shouldn't with your personal info. Like, in your journey of becoming a streamer and like trying to make yourself branch out, were you conscious about like keeping yourself safe in those circles?
Oh yeah. So I don't know if you know, but I used to work in IT and I specialized in security. But yeah, so when I started streaming, I made sure I had a separate account for literally everything. Like I made sure there was literally nothing that could connect it. Like I didn't even like my my stream stuff with my personal accounts. I was like, there is nothing that's going to connect me. Until one day I accidentally uploaded a Lawhammer video to my private one, but that doesn't matter. I got rid of that. But yeah, I made sure there was a complete separation between the two. And so far it's worked quite well. There have been little hiccups. There's bound to be, but yeah, I know there are a number of VTubers that I know that don't have like separate accounts for things. It's just their account and that's it. But I want to make sure I keep myself, some private things private.
Definitely, that's definitely going to be the second half of this podcast, where I'm actually going to take the tech side of keeping yourself safe. But for this stuff, I just want to talk to people and talk about their personal experiences. Because as anyone who grew up in the 90s, I would have heard this sentence. As the Amida Buddha says, with your thoughts, you shape the world. From the Serious Monkey. How you think about the world is how you perceive it, and how you perceive it is how you act around it. So if you see, if you
get out what you put in.
You get out what you put in a more concise manner.
Mm.
And it's getting harder and harder with all the AI and scammers to really trust people. But
Yeah.
But we just socially engineered. No, we're not socially engineered. We're social creatures. We want to make connections.
Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to not knowing So like with the scam stuff, as a lot of people don't know any different. Like a scammer can say, "Hi, there's something wrong with your PC," and they normally target old people because old people are just technologically illiterate most of the time. They don't know that this person on the phone has no way of knowing if there's a problem with their PC. So I think there's a lot of people, even like younger people, that you'd think would have like a knowledge about some sort of security. They just don't. So they just go, they post whatever online, and they think everything's going to be fine. And oh, now everyone knows where I live.
Yeah, and then you watch the guy who does GeoGuessr and just guess the exact location just from one
Oh
window
yeah.
sill.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, when people are like, "I bet you can't find me," and they're like, "Well, there's your house," and they're like,
How'd you do that?
"Yeah." I found out as well. Like something I didn't realize is so. I don't even know how to do it. So if someone uploads a picture, you can go onto the picture and then somehow like use the code in the picture to find out the location that they took it.
Yeah,
So ever since then, I've been like, whenever I take a picture and it's like access location, I'm like, no, never.
oh, Rainbow, thank you. That's the name.
The GeoGuessr guy.
Yeah, the GeoGuessr guy. Um, it's better because I definitely know how the people do that. There's a whole lot of metadata embedded into photos, especially on your phones when you don't set up. When you just set it as default, it'll be like, you took this photo at this place at this time at this GPS coordinates, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But thankfully, social media has been cracked down and told, hey, stop that. Grab all the metadata before you upload it to your server.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize people had actually been found with that and stuff. So it's a little bit scary.
I do, but you don't live in that part of the world. Or hopefully you don't have to. But that's what I'm hoping to do with this podcast. Just talk to people. Just talk to people. Find out what the general knowledge of the world and the internet is, and educate. I guess because that's what we both have in common. We like teaching people stuff. Mine is just sitting down and teaching people board games on a daily basis. I hate knowing the
It's
rules of.
nice. That's fun.
Yeah, I said that I know the rules to Wingspan back and forth. I don't like Wingspan that much. Uh, okay, so
Yeah, people do have to be kind of insane, but like, I feel like people are more likely to be like that insane and obsessed these days because they have a face. Like even with YouTubers, they have a face. It creates a connection and they go, I know this person. I love this person. And they feel like they know that person.
but that's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because people go, parasocial is a bad thing. But on the flip side, the realistic side is you do need a certain level of parasocial because you want people to build a
Yeah.
connection and be like, hey, I'm gonna go stream at this time. I want you to be around to enjoy it as well.
Yeah. And it's creating connections is fine, but I think a lot of people focus on there's a lot of focus on the bad side of parasocialism. So instead of just I'm creating a connection with you, we're friends, we know each other, it goes beyond that, and it's like you not like you're mine, but like so there's a there was a VTuber, I can't remember what her name was, or what her name is. She has like pink hair and little bat wing things. I can't remember.
Iron
And
Mouse?
basically pardon?
Iron Mouse?
No, it's kind of similar, but I can't remember. I think it begins with a C. I can't remember, but she basically really enjoyed going to meetups and stuff like that. And people, it was quite a big thing. Let me see if I can find her. It's not Siri. It's
If it's the one I think you're talking about, I think I know the exact incident you're talking about. Camilla?
Camilla, that's it. Yeah, her. So she used to love going to meetups and stuff, and her followers liked making her little like trinkets and stuff like that, and it was really cute. And she used to love taking them home and putting them out. And parasocial if you marry the streamer you're watching. I don't know. I guess it means it worked.
Oh, she got
but
to
yeah,
me.
but yeah, she took home like a bunch of these little trinkets that her fans, I guess, had made, and she put them out and everything. It was super fun. It was really cute. And then one day she was streaming and she had like there was like a bang. Well, she had like tapping on her window and she just kind of ignored it and she didn't really know what it was. And then all of a sudden there was like these big bangs. And so she has like a panic button and loads of security stuff. I'm not quite sure where she lives. I don't know if that's just she has all that stuff because of the nature of where she lives. I don't know. But she did a panic alarm and they like her and her mum like bolstered down. And basically what they found that it was one of her fans who had taken the parasocialism a little too far, and they basically put a tracking device in this thing that they made for her. And they took, I think it was a sledgehammer, and they were trying to break down her front door. And when the police got there, they just kept saying, "It's okay, she's my friend, she's my friend." But I'm sorry, but if you go there with a sledgehammer, you don't have friendly intentions. That's not a friend.
That's
But that's like taking the parasocial too far.
that is. I'm just trying to. I just got that song stuck in my head.
What song's that?
The song by Peter Gabriel, "I Can Be Your Sledgehammer."
Oh dear.
That's a terrible joke, but
Yeah.
that is definitely the extremes of stuff. But we have the stuff in between of people being overly friendly with you, assuming that they've already had a social connection with you. The wife doesn't count.
No, I think every VTuber, male and female, has had people in their DMs being like, "I like you," and you're like, "It's very nice," but no, thank you.
I'm sure you've had both sides of it. But there's some people who just generally want to be like, "Oh, thank you, like I love you because you've helped me through some hard times, so I just really enjoy your content and just leave it at that." But then there's
so
the ones.
that's why it's always really flattering and really nice when people say that. But it's when they are like they want more kind of thing.
It's hard to verbalize, but when the lines start to be drawn.
Yeah.
And like it's something that you have to build. It's something the younger VTubers definitely wouldn't be aware of, because it definitely needs a higher level of social awareness to understand that kind of risk beforehand.
Oh yeah, yeah. And understanding the social cues of like where it's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I definitely feel like there's such a what's the best way to put it? There's such a majority of VTubers who are female for 3 reasons, and this is my personal theory. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Number 1, women in general are just more geared to be socially aware, which is a very big important skill set that you need for VTubing. Because you need to build connections, but you also need to keep yourself safe at all times. Number 2, it definitely leveled the playing field, because I've seen even though like nowadays you still have like people been coming up to be like, "Oh, I like your model, it has big tits." It's a lot worse when you're a flesh tuber.
Oh yeah, this is personal then.
Oh, even as a guy, I had people who was like, "Oh, you look tired." Well, no shit, it's 11 a.m. No, sorry, it's 3 a.m. and I've been streaming for 4 hours, for like 6 hours. So that was number 2. What's number 3? I forgot what number 3 was. I'm tired. Number 1, number 2. Yeah. Yeah. What? Oh, it's very phallic. Babe, you didn't see her old model. That was a lot more phallic. Oh, that's foliage. Never mind.
I don't know what folic means. I'm uneducated. I'm sorry.
No, neither do I.
I'm gonna Google it.
Phallic.
Your wife is using big words.
I,
Folic. Folic.
jeez. Did you mean phallic?
Google doesn't know. Oh, dear. I think she does mean phallic.
uh, oh dear, oh dear.
Um,
I loved it.
oh man.
You know, to quote the previous episode, Force My Man, you like to poke the bear a lot. Uh,
So yeah, with the VTuber thing, I think one of the biggest reasons that it's more dominated by women than men is anime, because obviously that's kind of where it takes most of its influence with the art style and stuff. And obviously in anime, the women are always like, they got different colored hair, they got big flappy boobies and things like that. Whereas the men are always very plain because they're created to be relatable to the like Japanese male audience. So they're created very plain and stuff, whereas the women are always like a bit more, there's more to them, more color, more energy, more, they're different. So I think that's also where it comes from, is that they kind of took the anime bit and ran with it, and which obviously it goes hand in hand.
that's right.
But
I remember number 3.
yeah.
The reason why I think VTuber is very big with women, the LGBT, and the non-binary people, because they are the biggest group of people who know how to use their voice well.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
Because your voice is for VTubing is your biggest asset, and
Yeah.
women from a very young age are, they have to be very careful with how they use their words, the language, their tone, because it's a defense mechanism. If you
Yeah.
say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you'll be dead the next day.
That's an extreme, yes.
Yeah, so
But
like
even
it's
just like
extreme,
giggling too much.
but
Like as a cashier, like people, there's some men that like, if you giggle too much at a joke, they don't realize that you're giggling because you're really awkward and this is your job, just to be nice to them, and they think it's further than that. So it's I get what you mean. Yeah.
And also, the guys are more likely just to be like, all right, guys, we're gonna sit here and play Counter Strike for the next 5 hours, and
Yeah. Yeah, I do see that actually.
but yeah, like it's
Um,
so. So I guess really we had a nice little chat about Warhammer and VTubing and how we keep ourselves safe in that kind of space. We'll definitely need to deeper dive onto the technology aspect of things. But it's definitely a lot of social cues that can be learned in regards to that.
yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I like to end each session just by asking a few questions just to get to know the guest a little better. All right. So for the first one is like, is there a song you would like to recommend?
Oh god, I can't even say it. Walpurgisnacht by Faun. They're a German band, and I freaking love their music.
Ooh. What genre is that?
I'm actually not sure what genre they are considered. Let me have a look. They are. It doesn't actually say. It just says alternative slash indie. It's very sort of. If I say paganistic, would that would that make it? You understand? It's very sort of folkish and yeah. It's spelled Faun. But they're absolutely fantastic. They're very talented people.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you mentioned you don't watch a lot of movies, but do you have a movie you'd like to recommend to watch?
Most of mine have probably been watched to death already, but the How to Train Your Dragon series, my favorite I love. Obviously, other than like things like Lord of the Rings, but yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. Oh,
Nice. Um, I don't. So, is there anything you're looking forward to the next week? Any shows or events you're looking forward to?
Well, later tonight, obviously, we have the Warhammer and like Games Workshop announcements. I don't know what they're going to be announcing, but that's something that I'm looking forward to. We're going to be having a look at later. But other than that, I don't know.
Fair enough.
What about you? Anything?
Um, I mean, next week's the new set of Magic. I'm looking forward to that.
Ooh,
It's space.
okay.
It's very space opera themed. It's got a lot of spaceships involved. I'm like, that's cool. I'm a very big. I'm definitely more into sci-fi than fantasy. I still need to finish. Babe, we need to finish watching DS9.
Oh, Deep Space?
Yeah, I. I'm glad I got into Deep Space Nine later in my life because a lot
Mm.
of the political themes and a lot of politics and themes would definitely fly over my head as a younger age. But like now that I'm older and wiser, I can definitely appreciate a lot more of the deeper themes. Plus, Otto and what's his name, Quark, best bromance in TV history.
See, I think I've seen some Deep Space stuff a long time ago, but yeah, no, I don't remember like any of it.
Um, Quark, yeah, he was like the
It-
Ferengi and the shapeshifter. The
oh,
the two actor Otto, thank you, Otto. They're like, and fun fact, they're both best friends in real life as well.
cute.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I don't think they were acting with each other, just being themselves. Honestly, I like to think that.
It's always nice when actors have like that are meant to have relations in the show, have relations like outside. Like, is it Crocodile Dundee? They were husband and wife in real life.
You said Dundee, right? Not
Pardon?
you said Dundee, right?
Crocodile Dundee, yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, Crocodile Dundee was great. They were married in real life, the main two characters. I think they're divorced now, but yeah, they were together at the time.
yep,
Yeah, it's nice. It brings like a new like a chemistry to it.
yeah. So normally I will ask you what your favorite Pokemon is, but you say you're not a very big Pokemon fan. I'm just gonna ask you what.
Nose
I'm just gonna ask you what's your favorite horse girl, and why is it Rice Shower right here?
played the game.
That's,
But her, yes, definitely her. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. She's very gothy.
Yeah, I love the outfit. It's very nice.
Yeah,
Very Halloweeny.
I'm looking forward to that skin later on. She's a very goth soul, and she likes to get very moody and make it everyone else's problem.
Oh no.
Oh, she's very sweet, but she's very like teenage drama and angst. So training her is a pain in the ass because she always likes to bring her mood down.
Oh, I see. Wait, you have to like train them?
Yeah,
Like the actual horses?
yeah. That's the cycle is that it's basically the cycle of a dating sim where you're just trying to raise their stats, and then depending how well
Right.
you do, you take them to a race and they'll perform based on how good their stats are.
That's pretty fun.
It is like it's a diabolical cycle of Excel spreadsheets and then watching horse girls run, and then watching them have an idol concert. I have a lot of people to apologize to because I finally understand sports.
That's something I never go around.
That's not true. I actually enjoy sports. I just don't never understood the appeal of following a team.
No?
But like with Tosh Girls, I get it. Like you invest in time to watch them grow and like perform, and you want them to win. I get it. Plus, it helps that they're very personable and cute.
They're very cute. Now you play that game.
Yeah, and it's taking up all my spare time, unfortunately. But that is going to be the topic of next week's episode because I'm going to bring the wife in, who's a proper horse girl, and she can answer all the horse girls questions that people have nowadays. Because there's a lot of fun facts in the horse game, girl, like Goldship, who's known to be a slacker, despite being a massively talented horse. She literally went out of her way to troll her trainer. And she had a rival who, if he saw in the race, he would go out of his way just to make their life a living hell. And the fan favorite Harurara, yeah, that's right, who lost 105 races, but was just happy to be racing with the other horses.
So sweet.
Oh, she's so sweet. She's so cute. I love her. But yes, we had a lovely interview despite the tech trouble in the computer almost dying halfway through. Thanks for that, computer.
It happens.
It's, like, is there anything you like to do before an outro before we head off?
No.
Use code MimiMaple
I guess I could tell people to. Pardon?
Use code MimiMaple at Waifu Cups for a 10% discount.
Yes, 15% on waifu wares.
Oh, 15, that's way better.
Waifu bears, 15% on waifu wares with code MimiMaple. Sometimes they have 25% off. When the guy's house gets too full of waifu cups and he needs to get rid of stock.
Understandable.
Yeah, and I will be having a waifu cup coming out soon.
How do we follow you?
On Twitch?
In Twitch, socials?
So yeah, I have Twitch, which is just MimiMaple. I have Twitter, which is MimiMapleVT. I have YouTube, which I think it's just MimiMaple. Yeah, that's just MimiMaple. Oh no, it's MimiMapleVT. I lied. I have a Discord, which people can join should they wish.
Good times on
I would
Discord.
say Blue Sky, but I forget it exists.
Yeah, I'm the only one who's on there. I noticed.
Lord posts on there as well. But yeah, no, I just forget it exists. I started trying to get really into it when it first came out, and then I don't know, I just forgot.
Yes, I will force him to join them. This is my podcast, and I'll do what I like. Thank you very much. All right. Well, it's been lovely having you as an interviewee. That's been a lot of fun.
It's been fun being here. I'd love to come again if you'd have me.
Yeah, I definitely would. So I'm just gonna let's see who to rate out. Let's see. Who do we know? Who do we know that has a big fluffy tail?
Fluffy tail?
Yeah, she's kind of purple.
Maddie?
I saw them just jump online.
Yeah, Maddie, she's I think she's still in her starting soon screen.
Yeah.
She's only been on for 1 minute 50.
Yeah, well, I got no one else. Unless anyone else has any suggestions, because everyone I know is either asleep or Tabby's on. Actually, let's go rate Tabby. Why not?
Tabby! Oh, she's playing League of Legends.
Let's not rate Tabby.
Rate Tabby. I'm sure it'll be fine.
But I don't like League.
I don't think the people who play League like League.
That's actually true. All right, let's rate out. Bye, everyone.
Well, hello. Bye.
All right. And we're off.